now we discussed about one of the misconceptions, that reading and current affairs should not be mixed. Are there any other misconceptions, maybe related to vocabulary or to grammar?
See, several misconceptions are there. Vocab, if you see, again, that is very scary because you keep comparing with each other. How many words have you done? 3,000. Oh my God, I have done only 2,000. So, for all you know, you already may be knowing all the 1,000 extra words that the other person is talking about. So, don't compare the number of words that each one has done. Instead, one more thing I'll tell you. In any entrance exam, wherever you have fill in the blanks, which you call sentence completion, you may know, suppose there is a question, there are 5 options. If we are talking of GRE, we have sentence equivalence, text completion, there are 6 options, whichever may be the case. You may know all the words, yet your application may be incorrect. You may get the answer wrong.
Correct.
So, application is more important. Vocab, of course, you have some vocab questions as well. What is the meaning of this word? There also you have to apply. Application is very important. Just one, practical tip. You pick up 10 sentence, fill in the blanks, each with 5 options. Do not read the questions. Just have 3 notebooks when you're preparing for verbal. One for reading comprehension, one for vocabulary, one for grammar, and make your own notes throughout the process. So when you're doing this for vocab, suppose you pick up 10 questions, just write down all the 5 words, which means 5 into 10, 50. Okay? Write it down. Write down the meanings of the words that you know. Which you don't know, find out the meanings, write it down. For one day, learn those 50 words. Shut the book, next day, try solving it. That will test your retention and also your application, which is more important. And even then, you may realize that you remember all the words, but still you'll get your answers wrong, few of them, because application is a completely different ball game. So this is one method which I feel really works, because what happens is when you open 10 sentence completion, fill in the blanks, and then you realize that, oh, I don't know most of the words, it demoralizes you.
Correct.
So this is a very practical way. Don't test your vocab. Instead, learn those 50 words. You're learning those words, you're learning application. Split it in 2 days. And that becomes your first exercise. You're making your own book.
Yes.
Okay, it's a little unconventional, I know, but it works. Because you have to think at every step, you have to think that you cannot demoralize yourself. Others unintentionally may demoralize you. Even trainers, we demoralize people unintentionally many times, not with the intention. Our intention is never to pull them down, but we end up doing it sometimes. So at least don't do that to yourself.
So one source that you mentioned to rekindle students' love for reading was audiobooks. Are there any other sources that they can use? And I would appreciate if you could mention titles. For example, any podcasts, books, YouTube channels.
Anything. I don't think book is something. See, if you ask me, you can watch movies as well. The Secret. I love The Secret, and I have heard the audio, seen the movie, read the book. So anything, I feel it is something which is it comes from within. I'm sure if you see one, that will lead you to another one. 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. How to influence, how to win friends and influence others by Stephen Covey, I think. So I love Chanakya Niti. I have read that so many times, So anything, this has nothing, I don't think, at least consciously, it has not led to enhancing my English, but it has, in fact, this is very unconventional, but if you, on Netflix, you have this Bridgerton series. So they have these books as well. The English is so good. I just love the English of Bridgerton series. So I sometimes read those chapters and it's beautiful. So whatever appeals to you, I feel reading is something, if you do what you love, what you enjoy, you will benefit more from it. And if someone recommends it, of course you should try it out, but not with the intention that you will learn, but it will be at a subconscious level. So don't force yourself to learn something. I feel that works.
One alternative that you suggested, instead of reading every day, you can also do one RC every day.
Yes, depending on the time, even two, because that is more effective, I feel, because what I understand from it, like I said, may not be what the author is saying. So I'll have to understand who will give me marks for interpreting it as per my understanding. I need to mold my understanding as per what the author is asking. So definitely the questions will take me towards the direction which will fetch me marks.
Agreed. But most of the students, they fear RCs. I mean, they look at it and they hide under their beds. So
Yes.
why is it? Why do they?
Because we don't use strategies. First of all, I feel there's I'll just tell you, let's make it very simple. I'll use the word start, START. S for sequence. Step one, never read the passage first, read the questions first. I'm not talking of the options, only the questions. So, first you read the questions, and while you read the questions, initially at least, please accept the fact that you won't get all of them right. Choose any two questions which you feel or you're confident that you'll get it right.
Okay.
Make a goal. It's like going to a shopping mall not knowing what you want to buy. So find a goal and then go to the passage and then try to find answers to those two questions. And meanwhile, when you go to buy a pair of jeans, you may end up buying a t-shirt as well. So you might find answer to another one as well. Initially, just keep your goal as to two questions. That is sequence, as in first you read the questions, not the options, and then you come to the passage. S is for that sequence. T, thought reversal words. While you are reading the passage, be alert to thought reversal words. What are thought reversal words? When suddenly positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive, or neutral becomes positive, or neutral becomes negative. Yet, but, however, these type of words, because usually questions are put over there. If I say, I like you very much, you're like, you're very happy. And then I'm like, but I like your sister more. So immediately there's a change of tone.
Correct.
So you just use those as reference points because usually questions will be there over there. ST. Next is A, alarm words. I call them alarm words. Paradoxically, surprisingly, incredibly, um, ironically. So something which should not have happened, as you would have not predicted, unpredictably, something like that has happened. So as an exam setter, I would definitely put a question over there. There, I will bet my life on it. There will be a question if there is a word like that. Because जो होना था वो नहीं हुआ, कुछ और हुआ. Why will I leave such an important place, area, and not put a question over there? Alarm words. These are alarm words. Surprisingly, जो होना था नहीं हुआ. A 2 plus 2 did not become 4. It became 14. क्यों हुआ? उस पे क्वेश्चन पक्का रहेगा. So STA. R, rule out. You never choose the best answer. You choose the least incorrect answer. And how do you get that? By elimination. It's like marriage. You never get the perfect boy or the girl. It's always the least imperfect person that you choose. So, and also one more thing, every boy that you see or every girl that you see initially looks perfect. And then you see the second one, then you realize, me, uska thoda sa to ye alag tha. So every answer that you see may seem like the perfect one. Do not choose, go to the next one, read all of them, see what is on offer, and then decide. So rule out. And the last T is, it's a very generic thing, but that. If I tell you, I told you that the session was at 10 o'clock. What is the most important part in this question? I told you. Who told you? I told you. When was the session? 10
10
o'clock. If you see on either side of the word that, usually some important information is there.
Okay.
So tricks like this. So start, START, start. So S for, I'll repeat once again, S for sequence, T for thought reversal words, A for alarm words, R for rule out, and T for that. So such small tricks, if you give them, it goes a long way in solving RCs.
Correct.
I mean, that was one of the most unheard techniques. You know, I have never heard of it, and I think I'm definitely stealing that one.
Absolutely, please. I feel really nice that I could give at least something to someone. I had seen your session; it was really good. So if I could teach you something, then I'm privileged.
There's another dilemma that students face: speed versus accuracy, quality versus quantity. Like these dilemmas.
I'll address each one. Speed versus accuracy. Actually, there is no dilemma over your speed versus accuracy. If you're running in the wrong direction, you'll never be accurate. So, accuracy is always more important, even if it takes more time. Leave the rest. At least out of 5, if you decide you'll do only 2, get them right. So, speed, who will give you a trophy for finishing the entire paper and getting more than half wrong? So, there is no dilemma over there. Sorry, and what was the next one that you said?
The same, quality versus quantity.
Definitely quality. Definitely quality. And you choose, you don't have to do everything. You choose the type of questions that are your forte over a period of time. Of course, that the quantity of the type of questions which are your forte should increase with practice, but it will happen gradually, like brushing your teeth. You know, when you teach a child, he goes all over the place. But with time, you don't even realize that you're brushing your teeth. You know, it happens. If I ask you, did you brush your teeth today? You won't even remember because it happens automatically. So it's like that. Suddenly, you know, organically, you'll become better.
So the next part is now leaving behind the reading comprehension. Yes, that is one of the major parts. But verbal ability overall is important in other exams where speed matters. So other exams like banking exams or CET exam in MBAs and all these exams, verbal ability plays a crucial part. And here the speed can be increased a lot in verbal ability section. For example, 50 questions of quantitative aptitude may take 50-60 minutes, but same 50 questions of verbal ability can be solved in 35 minutes or in 40 minutes, even including RCs. So in these speed types of exam, grammar and vocabulary, they play a very important role.
Absolutely.
So some tips related to improvement, how to improve grammar. So that if a student is from a vernacular background, so should he start really reading from Renan Martin, or are there some tricks from where he can improve his grammar?
Okay. So basically, I'll address both separately, grammar and vocab. Okay. Just before that, regarding the speed thing, I just want to mention, if like banking exams and CET that you said, you follow the I don't know, you must be already telling your students the 5 Bs, which is, you decide, if you cannot do all the questions within that time period, follow the 5 Ds. You make, after practicing, you know which are your strengths and which are your, I wouldn't say weaknesses, but challenges. So if you just decide, do it, don't do it differently, divide it, deadline it. These 5 things. Do it means you decide these questions for sure are my strength. If I attempt them, I'll make use of my time and get them right. Don't do it. मैं करती भी हूँ तो गलत आता है. छोड़ो यार. Do it differently. सीक्वेंस में ये बहुत कम टाइम लगता है और सही भी आता है. ये पहले कर लेती हूँ. ये ज्यादा टाइम लगता है पर सही आता है, तो ये थोड़ा बाद में करती हूँ. सो यू मेक योर इट, वन साइज फिट्स ऑल वाला नहीं है ये. इट्स गोइंग टू डिपेंड फ्रॉम पर्सन टू पर्सन. डू इट डिफरेंटली, डिवाइड इट. Divide as in, I'll tell you RC में क्या होता है, since I told you you have to do it elimination wise. कभी कभी एक क्वेश्चन एलिमिनेट करने में बहुत टाइम लग जाता है. सो सपोज यू हैव चोजन 2 or 3 क्वेश्चंस टू अटेम्प्ट, तो आपने 2 एलिमिनेट कर लिया, देन यू पैनिक कि बहुत टाइम जा रहा है, देन यू गो टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन यू रीड फर्दर, बिकॉज वही सेम पैसेज आप पढ़ रहे हो टू डू द अदर क्वेश्चन, नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन यू गो टू द अदर क्वेश्चन ना, यू हैव 2 ऑप्शंस लेस. सो आपने डिवाइड कर लिया, थोड़ा सा घटा के फिर दूसरे वाले में आ गए, और ये करते करते मे बी यू कैन एलिमिनेट 1 मोर, थोड़ा सा डिवाइड कर सकते हो टाइम. एंड डेडलाइन इट, कभी कभी यू नो योर स्ट्रेंथ ऑल्सो में टर्न इट्स बैक ऑन यू, और आपको लगता है कि ये नहीं हो रहा है मुझसे. आफ्टर सर्टेन पॉइंट डोंट कीप परसिस्टिंग ऑन इट, गिव अप, छोड़ दो, लेट इट गो, बाकी कुछ आ जाएगा, उसमें आपको मार्क्स आ जाएगा. और टाइम दे रहे हो वो भी गलत आ रहा है, सो देयर इज अ डेडलाइन, आफ्टर दैट डोंट invest time in it, even if it's your best strength.
I mean, it is like self-realization. So for me personally, since 10 years, I have never been able to solve parajumbles correctly. So every year we appear for the exams. Whenever I see parajumbles, I skip it to the next question. That is the realization that I have. So students need to know about it.
सब कुछ करना है वैसे नहीं, you might invest that time in another question in RC and get it right ना, same marks मिल जाएंगे आपको. Just move on, accept it and move on.
Yeah.
I think I missed one deadline बोला.
You mentioned all 5
I mentioned all. ठीक है.
Yes. And we were talking about vocabulary as well, because it is also something which will help them improve their speed.
Absolutely. हाँ, grammar का I would say ना, instead of, again, this is again very unconventional, but I don't believe, अगर मुझसे पूछो भी, I don't know, I'm not sure myself if I know the types of prepositions, types of pronouns and all that. मुझे definitions में नहीं आता. Same thing I will say in grammar. You pick up an exercise, sentence correction exercise, 10 ka, solve them, get them wrong. 10 ke 10, you learn more from mistakes than you learn from right answers. And then read the explanation and make your own rule book. For example, there is this question. मैं सिर्फ 3 example दे रही हूँ, because otherwise it's very vague what I'm trying to explain. I pick up a question. There was this question. There is a girl and a boy in the room. Sounds right to me, no error. Then I see it's wrong. It is there are a girl and a boy in the room, because there were 2 people. What is the rule over there? Whenever you start a sentence with there or here, you don't know whether the subject is singular or plural. So you read ahead, then you see 2 people. There was a girl and a boy. Oh, 2 थे. वापस आके there were a girl and a boy in the room. So that one rule, you write it down with reference with the sentence. Spend time on making that rule. You'll never get it wrong. Second, जैसे एक simple सा, the reason is I was late for the reason was for being late to the class was because I had a headache. Second rule, reason and because will never come in the same sentence, because reason itself means because. Make that rule. वैसे करके if you make rules, for example, not only but also either or, neither nor, ये तीनों के लिए, if I say you always have 2 subjects for this, either A or B, neither A nor B, not only A but also B. Remember, the verb will take the form which comes closest to it, whichever subject comes closest to it. For example, neither Uma nor her children are coming, because children is closer to are.
Correct.
अगर उल्टा होता, neither the children nor Uma is coming. This rule follows these 3. So B is going to decide what the verb will be. वो rule लिख लो. अभी ये कौन से टॉपिक में है वो भी समझ में. Why get into complicate verbal? सिर्फ अपना rules बनाओ ना. 10, if you're doing 10 sentences, you might end up with 15 rules, because sometimes sentences have more than 1 rules. तो कर लो वैसे करके. You have your rule book. After there is a book called, I don't know, if you want I can give all those 8 exercises. There's a book called Barron's Indian version.
Hmm.
Just there are two versions. The Indian ones, GMAT का book है. They have 8 exercises of grammar, of each 16 to 17 questions. It covers all rules of grammar. All rules of grammar. If you just, and they have explanations separate वाला. तो मुझे, I just, when I take a grammar session, not a session, a grammar module overall, मैं वो 8 करवा देती हूँ without going into the nitty gritty of each and every topic. थोड़ा सा, of course, you have to tell them what is subject verb agreement, pronoun agreement, वो सब थोड़ा बहुत बोलो, बहुत ऊपर ऊपर से. Just if you complete that entire thing, it works wonders. It covers all the root, parallelism, modifier, redundancy. जैसे कि if I say do not repeat again, तो repeat itself means again. तो repeat and again एक साथ re वाले words के साथ re means doing it again. हाँ, तो again नहीं आएगा, निकाल दीजिए. They cooperated together. Cooperate. You are doing it together. नहीं आएगा. That is redundancy.
Revert back to me.
Revert back to me. Revert is itself, going back to someone. So, ऐसे वाले, if you make your rule book, na, let it be a mix and match of things. And when you come across more questions, you have more rules. It becomes your own book without the pressure of ये वाला grammar book बहुत अच्छा है, हो सकता है अच्छा है, but हर person का अलग level of grammar है, उसको let them make their own book, and what may not be a rule for you may be a rule for them, ना?
Correct.